Hey Kevin, so I just got finished with it. I don't have it connected to a battery right now, so it will turn off after a little bit, but I'm going to depress that to connect the 24 volts power. I got 24 volts coming in right here from the power supply. Well, 27 anyway. So I'm going to hold that down, and then when you see the blue circle come on, there. So now that you know the relay is on, when this light is on, you have 24 volts power to the computer, to the BMS in here when this light is on. This will show your state of charge as reported by the batteries. Right now it's not showing anything because I don't have it connected to anything, and it will also refuse to stay on. So now this should, you might have to go into the settings in here and change your amp hours remaining to the proper percentage. So let's see what else. When your batteries are full and also done balancing, that light will come on. Both have to be true. And this will beep and flash if there's an alarm condition like a voltage problem or a temperature problem, or even an amperage problem too. I think I have it set for maybe 7,000 watts at 24 volts before it'll turn on from an over amperage condition. I don't want it to go on when something is surging. So all right, so in here it's set up just like the other one. I think you already watched that video. The only difference is this one has a smaller shunt. This is rated for, I don't remember how many amps. All right, it's rated for 400 amps. I know it has a higher rating on the shunt itself, but that's what the box says, 400. So I have not drilled the hole yet for the battery, or for the inverter wire to come through, or for the battery wire to go through. So I want to ask you what size. I know you said you had some 4.0 wire, but if I do that, your whole lug is going to be kind of hanging out into the gland here. So I just want to clear it with you before I do that. When you turn this switch on and hold this one down, what you're doing is you're basically just bridging these two together, but through the pre-charge resistor. And that will send power through the whole thing and turn everything on. So it sends 24 volts to the converter board, which boosts the voltage up to 48 volts for the BMS, because I converted the BMS to work off of 48 volts. This is the computer brain for the monitor. This is a converter that converts your 24 volts down to 12 volts. The 12 volts goes into the computer, and the computer sends that to open and close the relay. Here, if you get the other CAN bus adapter for the CAN bus to USB adapter, you'll be plugging this into it. Just 2 wires, high and low. And that way you can see all your battery voltages and everything on one screen. It's pretty nice. There's a temperature display right here. I strapped that temperature sensor to the pre-charge resistor. If you have to use that a lot for some reason, if you're having some other issues, it might get hot. If it gets hot, you can see what temperature it is, but it's rare that you'll really need it. You could pull this thing out and you could poke it out through here and put it somewhere if you wanted to, somewhere else, just so you know the temperature of something else. In here, there is I guess there's some parameters in here that you can set. I'll give you the manual in here too. But apparently this will control a relay. I don't have the wires going to anything. It's these wires here on the left. But if you wanted it to control a relay, you could have it control a dump load or something, is the theory, like for a water heater, something like that. So I got this thing set to 615 amp hours. That's probably around 90% of their original rating. So it's probably a pretty safe number, but you might need to change it. All right, well, call me with any questions. All right, aloha.